Across decades and across cities, a strange message has appeared beneath the feet of millions, embedded directly into the asphalt at busy intersections, laid down with care and left without any explanation. The tiles do not advertise anything, nor do they identify their creator. Instead, they repeat a single, insistent idea involving resurrection, outer space, and a never-arriving future. Removed, destroyed, and forgotten in some places, they continue to surface in others, forming a quiet network of belief pressed into public streets. This is the case of the Toynbee Tiles. The Toynbee Tiles first began appearing in American cities during the early 1980s. They surfaced in dense urban environments: Philadelphia, New York, Boston, Chicago, often embedded in the asphalt of active intersections and crosswalks. Their placement was deliberate, requiring time, materials, and precision in locations where traffic rarely stopped. Each tile carried a variation of the same message, rendered in block lettering and sealed beneath layers of tar. The words referenced the Toynbee idea, the film 2001: A Space Odyssey, and the resurrection of the dead on the planet Jupiter. The phrasing sifted slightly over the years. The core message remained unchanged, repeated with obsessive consistency. There were no explanations, no punctuation to soften their claims, and no indication of any metaphor. What makes the tiles unsettling is not just what they say, but how they endure the elements. Asphalt erodes, streets are often resurfaced, and city layouts change, yet the tiles persisted for decades, reappearing even after widespread removal efforts. Their anonymity gave them unnatural authority. Without an author to question or a voice to confront, the tiles became artifacts of conviction, silent, immovable, and indifferent to whether they were understood. Attempts to understand the Toynbee Tiles inevitably return to the question of belief. The message invokes the name Arnold J. Toynbee, a historian known for theories about the rise and collapse of civilizations, and pairs it with imagery drawn from 2001: A Space Odyssey, a film by Stanley Kubrick, preoccupied with evolution, death, and transcendence beyond humanity. Together, these references suggest a worldview in which history is cyclical, collapse is inevitable, and rebirth is possible only through forces beyond that on Earth. Central to this belief system is the idea of resurrection, not in a spiritual heaven, but on Jupiter. Whether this was intended literally, symbolically, or as a fusion of science fiction and theology is never clarified. The absence of explanation forces the viewer to confront the message on its own terms. The insistence of the claim gives it an unsettling weight, as though it reflects a conviction so complete it no longer requires justification. What deepens the unease is the coherence of the message over time. Across cities and decades, the belief does not evolve or soften, it does not adapt to criticism or cultural change. Instead, it remains fixed, repeated with ritual consistency, it suggests not a passing idea, but a closed system of thought, one that does not seek followers, yet refuses to disappear. The tiles function less like communication and more like a doctrine embedded permanently into the environment, waiting to be encountered. Over time, evidence suggested the tiles were a work of a single individual, or at least a singular guiding hand. Patterns in spelling, materials, and placement pointed repeatedly back to Philadelphia, where the highest concentration of the tiles appeared. As the years passed, the tone of the messages shifted. Later tiles grew more hostile, introducing accusations, warnings, and references to enemies obstructing the mission. The craftsmanship deteriorated, layouts became more erratic, and the certainty that once felt ritualistic began to feel strained. What has started as a controlled declaration hardened into fixation, suggesting a creator increasingly isolated, pressing the same belief into the ground with greater urgency as resistance mounted. Cities removed the tiles and resurfaced streets. The message did not vanish, it changed form. Photographs, maps, and fragments were preserved by archivists, researchers, and online communities determined to document what remained, reclassified from vandalism to artifact, their meaning still unknown. The Toynbee tiles endure because they resist explanation. They are traces of belief without context, conviction without community, ideas embedded so deeply into the physical world that removing them only sharpened the question of why they were placed there at all. That concludes this entry, but every shadow leads to another trace, and every trace to another unanswered question. If you want the next case as soon as it resurfaces, stay with us. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and step back into the dark with Noctombre.